line.
Yeah, good stuff.
This is dramatic stuff at Suzuka with Wayne Gardner. We've seen him do it before. We've seen him here in 8-hour races. We've seen him win a World Championship in 87. He is off the planet at the moment.
That's put him up into 6th spot now. And Mamola is about 3 seconds in front of him. So the rate is going out.
Wayne Gardner charging through, Mick Doohan out in front. I'm sure we'll come back to Mick Doohan shortly, but the interest here has been with Gardner as he muscled his way through that pack of riders, banging wheels, doing everything he can to force his way through. Look at Gardner, there's Doohan, he's out in front. We'll be back in a moment. A thriller here at Suzuka. Back to Japan. Hope you're enjoying this race wherever you're watching us right around Australia. That's Michael Doohan. He's out in front on the big Honda and doing a fantastic job. He really has ridden a very heady race. He sat back, let the mayhem and the chaos of the first few laps happen, then inched his way through, took the lead off Chandler, and now he's way out in front. There's the gap between Doohan and Chandler, 14 seconds now, and building at the rate of 2.5 seconds a lap. This is one of the great rides.
Yeah, he's slowed down a second a lap now, so he's sort of basically popped the thing on autopilot. You know, he will. The only danger when you do that, you slow it down a second a lap, but with conditions like this, you're not going to let your brain lapse anywhere, you know, so with any kind of luck, you know, things are going to go okay.
If anything, this range increased. Did you notice just a couple of corners back, he actually put his knee to a puddle?
Yeah, the danger is, you see, that you're working the tyres really hard, and the rain tyres are a much softer rubber. They're really deep groove tyres. So with the acceleration, you tend to wear that rubber away, or rather tear it away, and also with the front. So you just have to feel the bike as it goes on. The acceleration gets less traction, and it also gets less traction when you're actually braking. So you just have to keep your eye on it. Gardner's only 8 seconds behind now. I can't believe that. Yeah, it's top 6 there. That's incredible.
Amazing. Gardner just still pushing so hard. Remember, he came from 17th spot after dropping the bike, and he's worked his way through now into the 6th spot and chasing Randy Mamola on the Yamaha. But at the moment, it's still Mick Doohan out in front, just doing it ever so nicely. But one mistake. This track is so treacherous. We saw it in the 125 race. You saw it in the early laps of this race, the 500cc race. One mistake, and it's goodbye, because once you get on that infield, and Gardner actually was very lucky to be able to pull a bit off the bike and get going again.
Yeah, really, because if it had been on one of the other corners where it disappears off into about 200 metres of sand, you've got no chance of getting it back. And of course, you're not allowed to have a marshal to help you drag. Water coming off the wheels. You're not allowed to have any outside assistance, so if you fall off the thing, nobody can help you pick it up and nobody can help you start it.
Just a reminder to the other two young Australians, Darryl Beattie, who was the talk of the circuit here for 2 days, he went down early out with Peter Goddard, another Australian who was impressing everybody here with his calmness and style over the last 2 or 3 days of actual practice and qualifying. So the Australians really have been the talk of the pits.
Yeah, you can see Gardner in the last lap pulled 4 seconds back on Mamola. You should see Gardner. That's Gardner coming into the centre of the picture now.
That's where he crashed. Look at Gardner, absolutely off the planet. He was 13 seconds just a few laps ago behind Randy Mamola, and he's just closing at such a rate.
Yeah, and of course Mamola will get the signal from his pits. He'll be going as quick as he really wants to go, and then you go past, and say the previous lap says plus 13, then all of a sudden it says plus 8. You know, baby, it's very difficult once you've settled into a pace. You see, Wayne's on the roll, he's going, and Randy will have settled down into a sort of a nice steady pace, and to wind it up again, it's really difficult.
Wayne Gardner, of course, 17 Grand Prix victories in the 500 class, 4 victories at Suzuka in the 8-hour race. His first win was in 1986 in Spain. That was at Jarama. He was the 87 world champion. And we said to him the other day, I don't believe how they're wobbling. There's the gap between Mamola and Gardner. We said to him the other day that he's always had a bit of mongrel in him, which is a very Australian term for fighting dogs. And now he wears the mongrel on the back of his helmet. You may see it there. No, the rain could have brought it off, but there's a little dog that he's going to get painted on the bike, which he reckons is a mongrel.
Well, he called 4 seconds the previous lap and 3 seconds lap on Mamola, and he's now 5.5 seconds behind, 5.8 seconds behind, so he'll give himself a pat on the back as Lawson there. Looks like the end of the day for Lawson.
Getting out of the way of Michael Doohan, who is in front at the moment. They'll talk about this ride from Gardner for a long, long time. One of the bravest rides we've seen under these conditions. Certainly was competitive early.
Mick's turned up the power again now. He's lapping in 2:32, and he's nearly 18 seconds in front of Chandler.
So you watch Eddie Lawson well out of contention on the Kajiva, running the Dunlop tyres. As Barry said, they were running the reverse tyres last year, and it just never worked for them in the wet. We thought this bike would be very competitive in the wet, but the wrong choice of tyres.
Yeah, it's always with Kajiva. They're always in the right place at the wrong time. It's disastrous.
This man in the right place at the right time. Michael Doohan out in front. Everybody willing him away. Cross your fingers, Australia. Sit there and hope for this man because he's running out of laps. He's done it well, so well. Brilliant. A brilliant ride.
Yeah, it certainly is good to have. What's 19.5 seconds now, and it makes you feel all right. You know, it feels that you can back down the pace a little bit, but obviously he doesn't want to. He feels comfortable at that pace. You know, he's got used to going at that speed, and I guess if he slows down, he's worried that his concentration might go off or whatever. And as it stands, you see, he can come up against a bunch of back markers and give them all the room in the world, you know, and take his time to pass them rather than have to slide past with everything locked up into a hairpin or something. That's the great advantage of having this kind of lead.
It's been a long time since we've seen a gap anything like this in 500cc racing. The conditions dominating here, but this man's beaten the conditions so far.
Yeah, I suppose Mick's girlfriend Kelly will be hanging off the edge of the couch, you know, on the Gold Coast.
Of course, Mick Doohan has won 4.
Look at this.
Look at the gap here with Gardner.
2.4 seconds. Can you believe it? 3 seconds in the last lap.
What a ride from Wayne Gardner. We talk about guts and glory. This man today, he'd be so angry that he dropped the bike. Austria last year, of course, was Mick's last big win in a Grand Prix. He's won 4 500cc races. In the championship in 89 he was 9th, in 1990 he was 3rd, in 1991 he was 2nd, and he wants to change that around this year out in front. But Wayne Gardner, the talk of the circuit at the moment, closing in on Randy Mamola. Mamola can't believe this. If you look at his pit board, and every time there's another 3 seconds.
Yeah, but 3 seconds. It's, you know, Randy is no slouch in the rain.
He's lost it, Wayne. The end of a great ride from Wayne Gardner. He threw everything he could. He's hurt his leg again. That's the same leg he hurt in practice the other day. That's the same leg.
Oh, no.
Oh, what a shame. What an end of a great, great ride. Here it is.
Oh, he lost the front. I've got a horrible feeling he's broken his ankle. Look at his foot, the angle of his foot going into this thing.
Oh, Barry hit hard. Very, very hard.
Yeah, but I didn't like the angle of his foot.
Well, he's in a lot of pain. He's saying, just
leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Look at the pit.
Damn.
You cannot believe this fellow's luck. I mean, he is just such a great competitor. And to finish such a gutsy ride that way.
Oh, dear.
I don't know how you feel back in Australia, but I mean, you just feel so sad for this man. He really hit hard. He hasn't moved that leg, Barry. I think, gee, I hope you're not right, but he hasn't moved that leg, and he's been hurt too many times. He understands injuries better than most.
I just didn't like the angle of his foot.
Yes.
So,
he hasn't moved the leg. He's giving the instructions. He's still saying, leave me alone, go away.
Yeah, the last thing in the world you want when you're falling off is somebody dragging hold of you and fiddling around with you. You just like to compose yourself.
He's talking to him. He's giving him instructions. Back with Michael Doohan. I can't believe that. I mean, it's just such a hollow feeling after watching the man fight from 17th spot right up into the 6th spot. He was closing in for 5th and lost the bike. What a great ride. They'll talk about it. I just hope that that's not as bad as we think. He hit that ball very hard.
Even though the walls are made of all those blocks you see around the outside, a sponge, The problem is if you go into them back first or whatever it is, it's no problem. But you go into it wrist first or foot first, then it's not an awful lot difference from jumping off the roof of a house.
So Doohan, let's come back to the situation as it is. This man has beaten this track so far today. He really has ridden such a heady race, and at the moment has an amazing amount of time in front. You can see him splish and splash his way around this circle on the big Honda. But he will be just total concentration. He knows how many laps he's got to go. He's looking for puddles. They're changing all the time. There's a stretcher there for Gardner. You can see him. He's talking to the medical staff. He's A-OK that way.
I would have to say I guarantee he's broken. Because if you haven't broken something, then the first thing you do is get up. And you could see by the way he was sort of gesticulating and that, it's, I just hope it's...
Yeah, well, the word is that we have that it's possibly a break, so let's just hope not. It was a leg that he damaged in a crash in the rain the other day. He was 2 seconds quicker than anybody in the rain. He came down and hurt that wrist again and that leg. It is exactly the same spot. It's the same place he grabbed. So perhaps that even weakened the situation when he hit so hard.
And I'm not sure whether it was the one that he damaged before, because it still was always a weak thing.
He has no luck here in Suzuka in 500cc racing.
24 seconds in front now, Mick.
So Michael Doohan is he is the rain master today. Mother Nature's thrown everything at this fellow, and he's really taken Mother Nature on in the biggest way.
Yeah, that was Rudroff that he just lapped for the second time.
We've seen a lot of Rudroff.
Yep.
Being lapped. Lap 21. Lap 21 for Mick Doohan. He went so close last year. Wayne Rainey and Doohan had such a fantastic battle for the championship.
The rain's still coming down here now, and I can hear Mick's bike wheel spinning even more. And he slowed it down now to 32 minutes 34, so that's 2 seconds a lap slower. If you listen to feel. Just heard the wheels start to spin then. It's quite unbelievable when there's only one bike out. Then you hear the thing spinning on the straight.
And this circuit is set in like a natural amphitheatre. There's hills and the bankings all around, and the bikes just echo through. We're in a glass commentary box on the start-finish line, and you can hear it.
Just have a listen so we can hear it spinning. I can't hear it too much now. But where he has to really be careful is where the tyres are wearing down, they're not getting as good and all that kind of stuff. And it's lovely to be able to slow down a little bit, because they can really catch you out. You don't know. You'd love to get off, stop and have a look, see how much it's worn, how badly it's torn apart, but you can feel it.
Japan's Ito in 4th spot. He'll be the hero here tonight. No doubt about that. 22nd and the final lap for Mick Doohan. So keep your fingers crossed all around Australia. Michael Doohan with a great performance here today. Really one of the great rides on a 500cc anywhere in the world in these conditions. He's mastered them. There's no doubt about that. Built up a massive amount of time in front.
Well, up until now, he's totally slaughtered them, hasn't he? That's the only...
It's been no contest.
No, really.
Doohan and the rest.
Incredible. 26 seconds in front.
3 of the Australians dropping the bike. Beatty, Goddard, and of course, we saw Wayne Gardner crashing twice. We'll bring you up to date as quickly as we can on Gardner's injuries.
Beatty didn't drop the bike.
Beatty didn't start, unfortunately. Exactly. Beatty didn't even get to ride after a mix-up, we'll say.
It was an understatement. I just cannot believe that Beatty was all down to do the World Championships, etc., and then he had to do the Japanese Championships. They give him a last year's bike, the 91 specification bike, and they give him a guy to run his team that I wouldn't let him run a milk round. The bloke is a disaster. He's absolutely, totally useless. And after practice, I went went around to see Darren, and he said, "Oh, there's water in it, you know, and it's just not running good." So the guy's standing around there, kicking his heels, not doing anything. And I said, "Well, why don't you take it apart and have a look?" "Oh no, leave it, you know." And there's your answer, you know. He goes out on the warming up lap. All they're doing is running the bike on the stand outside. I mean, the bloke was destroying.
What do you really think?
Well, apart from that, it's a very nice, but it just angers me.
So here we go, time running down now for Mick Doohan. This looks like win number 5, Grand Prix victory number 5 now, as he brings the Rothmans Honda round on the fast part of the circuit here, and he really hasn't lost his concentration any part of this race. He's just had the race face on, and he's just done everything the right way.
Your heart in your mouth, jog over the puddle. All he's got to do now is into this is chicane on the last lap. See the old thing wiggling.
Chandler and Swans, the other two major place getters here, but they're way out of contention, not even in sight. As Mick Doohan now, beautiful camera work here from the Japanese as they show you inching around this circuit. Now he comes onto the main straight area, last down, he'll take it. And Michael Doohan takes victory number 5.
Great.
No great excitement. Now the hand goes up. There's the famous washing up glove you can see there on Doohan's hand. And boy, oh boy, what a ride.
Sensational.
What a ride.
Tremendous. Chandler, you've got to hand it to Chandler. He had a really good ride, and he'll be really pleased with that. But Mick was great.
So Chandler now makes his way over the start-finish line. He'll take the checkered flag in second place, way behind. He's very, very happy about that. Kevin Swanson will be happy to just stay in third place. He really did lead the race. Look at Chandler, excited about his, but here's Swanson now, coming into third place.
Yeah, Chandler was 28 seconds behind Mick. That's incredible, unbelievable. As you were saying, that must be the most anybody's won a 500 Grand Prix for a long, long time.
Look at the distance Chandler
got
on Swans too as he takes third spot.
Yeah,
I think he's just happy to get home, Kevin.
Virtually a minute, Mick was in front of Kevin Schwantz. Fantastic. Yay!
And there it is, the Australian flag. We don't know where it's come from, but someone's produced one. And Mick Doohan takes the flag round on the wall. Go away! Mick Doohan saying, "Leave me alone."
No, that wasn't.